This is the High School Football America podcast for September the 6th, 2024. I'm Jeff Fisher. In just a little bit, we're going to talk with Todd Smith, the head coach at the Hun School in Princeton, New Jersey, about how his program is really stepping it up with the schedule that they're playing, coming up with a big win last week over number 38 Mount Carmel out of Chicago in the Windy City, so that's coming up in just a little bit. The High School Football America podcast is brought to you by First Place Spiritwear, the official outfitter of High School Football America. First Place Spiritwear, changing, reinventing, revolutionizing the fan gear way it's done at the high school level. They've got an up-and-running store for every football program in America right now if you go to firstplacespiritwear.com. And if you partner with them and just say, hey, I want to be a part of this, see what you're all about, they can put logos up there on your hoodies, on the t-shirts. They can put a logo on anything. Trust me, you will love what it is. It's such a hassle-free solution, and it's going to take you away from a lot of stuff that's been just nipping at your heels for years, like those ordering windows. You know, BSN's Fan Cloth has that ordering window where you got a couple of weeks and everybody's got to order, and then you got to wait around and wait till the stuff gets there. Well, with First Place Spiritwear, the orders will ship to the home within days, and here's the cool thing. It's 100% online. They're going to give you all the marketing material you need, from graphics to the actual script. You put it in your email list, hit the send button, and you are done. Because from there, everything is going to be taken care of, because they're going to collect the money, they're going to manage the inventory, and they're going to do the shipping. So, no more collecting money, no more stuff clogging up your office in boxes, hoodies and t-shirts, and you don't have to deliver it either. It's hassle-free. You can't beat it. Their designs are above and beyond, because they have one of the their main designer is one of the former designers at Fanatics. Yes, the people that do the NFL and the big college football programs. You can now get a fan gear experience at the high school level, just like the big boys have. So don't let another day go by without checking out firstplacespiritwear.com. And here's the other cool thing. They give you money back on all of your sales. 10% goes to your fundraising. Off-season, you can earn up to 50% with some of the pop-up sales they do for you. All the players, coaches, staff, families get $10 gift codes. And we carry name brands like Nike, Adidas, and Champion. I said we. I say that because I really feel, after 20 years of saying no to every garment person on the face of this earth, I found somebody that I can trust, that I can stake High School Football America's reputation on. And Mike Meadows and Connie Meadows, the founders of the company, they operate it day to day. They are real good people that will take good care of you with A+++. I can put as many pluses there as I need to. It's that good. Their customer service is that good. So check them out at firstplacespiritwear.com. That's the number one, stplacespiritwear.com. And we're brought to you by GameStrat, the fine folks there at GameStrat. They've just been doing it for more than a half a century at this point, half a decade, and they've become America's premier sideline instant replay system with outstanding reliability, displacing all those people that had Huddle Sideline and were dissatisfied. They're faster than Huddle Sideline. The video transfers instantly in GameStrat, and its connection stays strong throughout with great features like seamless video controls, video telestration, and play filtering. The setup just so easy, 10 minutes. You're not wasting a lot of time during your pregame getting it set up. Just bing, bang, boom, 10 minutes later, you're up and running. Their customer service, like First Place Spiritwear, is also outstanding, and they have plans that are priced right for every coach's budget. Mention High School Football America during your demo. You will get a friends and family discount. Now, to get that demo, go to GameStrat.com or click on the GameStrat banner ad located on every page of highschoolfootballamerica.com. Heading to the Garden State, New Jersey. Yeah, that's right next to my hometown from back in the day. Still have family that lives in the Lehigh Valley, and also lived in Chicago. And a big shock came out of the Windy City last weekend as number 38 in the High School Football America 300, powered by NFL Play Football, Mount Carmel out of Chicago, lost to the Hun School out of Princeton, New Jersey. Probably shocked a few people around the world and got me to thinking, well, I better get the head coach on the podcast here and talk to him about what I've heard from all of my friends in the Chicago area was one whale of a football game. Todd Smith is on the line. He's been at the Hun School with the Raiders since 2014. It's a private boarding school in Princeton, and we know there's a lot of smart people in Princeton. There's good education there. So, Coach, thanks for taking the time to join me here on the podcast.
Glad to be here.
Well, like I said, I heard a lot of good things about the performance. I saw a couple of stories that were done by the New Jersey media there on you. You've got some great talent. But before we get into that, let's give the people around the nation that are listening to this a little bit of a snapshot of the Hun School. I know you have a rich history of football, but can you give the people around the nation a little bit of who you are, other than you're in Princeton and you're a private boarding school?
Sure. So we're actually an independent school located right here in Princeton, New Jersey. We've been around for over 100 years. We're actually kind of the best of both worlds. We have about 200 kids that board on campus, and we have about 400 day students. So it's a little split there. Co-ed, we carry about 50 kids on the football roster, all ages. So we reclassify kids, and we have post-grads that come in as well. Our post-grads have to be a certain age. We don't let any of them be 19 before September 1. So that allows us to play a lot of teams in any state. So they're young for their age. And at the end of the day, every year we kind of assemble a team, a squad, and we try to build it as a team, put it together, and go out and play good football.
You played some darn good football last weekend. Like I said, anybody familiar with Midwest football, the Caravan of Mount Carmel, they've won a ton of Illinois State championships. You surprised them with that. One of the things that kind of got Coach and I together was, as I was putting together the rankings after that game, I said, there are some schools that have kids under 19 that do qualify, like a Rabun Gap-Nikuchi, whose head coach Derek Smith was on the podcast a couple of weeks ago, actually qualifies because they don't have any post grad. So Coach said, yeah, we've got a couple of them, and therefore he got me thinking, and we're going to do a prep ranking for the first time ever in our 20-year history coming up this week, and I believe the Raiders may be somewhere near the top. So stay tuned for that news. But anyway, let's get into it, because that kind of shocked a lot of people. Who's this Jersey school? How'd they beat a Midwest power and all that? And like I said, some of the people in Chicago that I'm still very, very close with and talked to said, you guys played one whale of a ball game. So let's talk about that, and then we'll get into some of your players and all that. How well did you play? Because everybody's saying you played a perfect ball game against a very good squad.
Well, I don't know if it was too perfect. Obviously a head coach can find, you could find anything wrong at any time, right? So, but you know what? The big thing was we really wanted to go out and give our kids an experience that would help prepare them for the next level. So when we were making the schedule, we were really looking for teams where, win or lose, we were looking for a great football experience, someone who would definitely punch us in the mouth. And Mount Carmel definitely did that right out the gate. We actually got the ball. It's one of those things where we weren't really sure what we were getting into, and I'm sure they weren't sure what they were getting into, but it turned out to be one of the best football games I've ever been involved with since I've been coaching.
That says a lot right there. And folks, just so you know, not the only team in the High School Football America 300 powered by NFL Play Football coming up this year for them. They've got Rabun Gap-Nikuchi, number 70 in our top 300. And then nobody needs to be introduced to St. Francis Academy out of Baltimore, number 18. And then a good team out of Tennessee that's been in the national rankings and in the national spotlight for several years now, Lipscomb Academy out of Nashville, in addition to your private schools that you play. So very taxing schedule there. I'm assuming, considering you said you wanted to test yourself and your kids, that's why you put together something of this magnitude, because I see the other prep schools are very, very good as well. So that's an A++ schedule, it seems to me. Do you see it that way?
Yeah, I mean, so in some way, shape, or form, our hand was forced a little bit. We do have a couple schools in our conference. One joined last year, and they're not quite ready to play us yet. So we're looking forward to playing them next year. But there is another school in our conference that kind of refuses to play us. So, at the end of the day, it's everyone's own prerogative. So what we did was we sat down and we just tried to make if we said, we used it as an opportunity instead of getting upset about it. And we went out and found some really good games, and when you don't really play for a state championship, then you don't play for, a conference championship, you have the luxury of really going out there and marketing your school and your program as someone who prepares kids for the next level, right? We want our kids to be ready to play at a high level when they leave here. And you're not going to get that if you schedule some PUDs on the schedule and go out and if you win 49-0 or 50-0 or whatever it is. This game was great. I mean, the emotions that were there, it's everything we wanted, and it forced our kids to respond. It forced our kids to react, and it really tests their will and tests their resilience, and they responded. And down the road, that's going to come up again in their football life. So really happy we did it. Listen, at the end of the year, you can ask me if the schedule was great or not. We'll find out. But so far, so good, and we just have to keep our kids healthy and keep everyone ready to go, and we just take every day one day at a time.
Todd Smith, head coach at the Hun School in Princeton, New Jersey, talking about someone not wanting to play. You'll have a lot in common when you play St. Francis. That's why they're playing a national schedule, because some people in the Maryland Interscholastic Athletic Association didn't want to play them. So you guys have that in common there. Let's talk about some of the players. I did see a piece, like I said, I forget who it was, but it was one of the better New Jersey media companies. They put out a video just talking, doing a lot of preseason stuff across the state. And I was watching that going, wow, Coach Smith has some talent. And I'd like you to take a few moments here to talk a little bit about that talent. Mention the kids by name. Obviously, we can't give all 50 on the roster, but some of the kids, both sides of the ball that you feel get the job done, maybe playing at the next level, whether that's, power, 4 or D2, D3.
Yeah, we have a lot of pairs. It'll make sense in a second. So we have a lot of kids that are going to college together. So right off the bat, one of our wide receivers and our defensive backs, Liam Thorpe, had a touchdown in the game, number 5. He's heading off to Stanford University. Almost all of our guys, except with the exception of 3 offensive linemen and the quarterback, play both ways for us. So we do a lot of teams have the luxury of platooning. We don't have as many guys as a lot of teams we play. So we have a lot of kids that go in and out, play offense, defense, special teams. They really never come off the field, and Liam's one of those guys. He kicks for us. He punts for us. He's our starting free safety and our starting wide receiver, but outstanding player. And then going to Stanford with him is one of our two-way linemen, our offensive guard and defensive tackle, Cole Breeler, number 55, who really took over the game in the second half. Did a great job on the defensive line, which was one of the places where we thought we might have an edge against Mount Carmel. We have big guys that can move, that are athletic and twitchy, and he's one of the best we've ever had since we've been here. And obviously, Jack Moran, the quarterback, had a really good day. Jack's been with us for 4 years. He's waited his turn. Last year, he threw for about 1,000 yards as the second team guy. He played alongside another quarterback named Miles O'Neill, who's now at Texas A&M. And Jack came out, and the first year as a starter really put himself on the map, throwing for 5 touchdowns, 500 yards, just had a real great day. He's committed to the University of Charlotte at North Carolina. He's looking forward to going playing for Biff Poggi down there. So those 3 were really good standouts. And obviously I can't leave out Bryce Kania, who is one of he's one of the most slept on recruits in the country. He had over 200 yards receiving. He's headed off to Wake Forest, 6'4", 200-pound wide receiver who also plays corner and safety for us. He actually had the game-closing interception as well. But again, our players really stepped up. And then we have a handful of 2026s that are just really fantastic football players. Luke Wafel is a national recruit at defensive end, 6'6", 240 pounds. He has over 30 offers. Really comes off the ball. He looks like he's a clone of the Bosa brothers. Long arms, absolute great looking kid. Exactly what you want your Power 5 defensive end to look like. And then on the other side, we have a young man named Seth Clark, who has about 12 offers right now and just did a great job. His first start for us, his first game at defensive end, he had 2 sacks, really helped secure the win at the end of the game, and just did a great job. And, all in all, we have currently right now on the roster, we have about 18 kids that have Power Four offers or
Beautiful.
FBS offers, and in the 25 class we have 10 kids that are committed to go playing Power Four football right now. So it's great. We just have a lot of kids that have worked really hard. They've really trained. They've bought into the weight room. They eat right. They get their rest. They do everything the right way, and a lot of it's paying off for them.
I think so, Coach. That I think that a lot of people aren't aware how good New Jersey football is on the private level like you're playing. There's been a lot of talent that's come out of there. I remember driving from Easton with my parents down to the Jersey Shore and going by the Petty School and, all that stuff. Can you talk a little bit about the amount of talent that is in your league in there, especially in the Garden State? I think it's a little under the radar, especially when you just spit out a lot of kids. They're going to be seen on Saturdays by people.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's one of those things where I've been at the Hun for 11 years now, and over the years we've seen some really good football players in our league. John Mechie played in our league. Jahad Dotson played in our league. David Ajabo and Jason Owe played in our league. Obviously, none of these guys played for me, right? But it's kind of crazy. Most recently we've had two offensive linemen from the Hun School. We have a kid named Ryan Vandermark who plays for the Buffalo Bills, and a kid named Caden Wallace, who was a third-round draft pick by the New England Patriots, who had Penn State. So we've done a great job. I mean, but yeah, the talent at this level, it is what we don't have is depth, but what we do have is top-end talent. So there's never been a shortage for electric players in our league. The most famous recruit to come out of the Hun School is most probably Myron Roll,
No doubt.
who obviously was, National Player of the Year, went on to Florida State and did great things there. But there's definitely a rich tradition. And I think that's where the postgraduate thing comes in for sure. Sometimes kids just need an extra year. They're young for their age. They had an injury to overcome. Maybe they need 10 more points on their SAT to go to an Ivy League school like this. What it does is it just offers that opportunity for kids to seize and change their lives, with 1 year of school and a season of football.
And college coaches really love the fact that you're giving them that kind of college experience, even though 99.9% of them are in high school, even like the travel you took to Chicago and all that. I mean, I know those recruiters love the fact that those kids, I'm not saying they're way ahead of everybody, but I think they're a little step ahead of just that normal high school kid, right? If they attend that type of a school like the Hun School, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know if you agree with that.
I mean, yeah, I would agree 100%. Like a lot of the kids are living on campus, so they're living that college lifestyle. They're getting used to getting themselves up and taking care of themselves, doing their homework at night. Everything's on their own without their parents there, right?
Mm-hmm.
But again, going on a plane, you should have saw the faces of the people on the plane when we walked on. We didn't charter a flight; it was just a normal flight, and there were some scared eyes coming down the aisle when we were. They're like, "Please don't sit with us. Please don't sit with us." So we had some large. I think we popped a wheelie all the way from Philadelphia to Chicago. So, but we got there. So it was an experience for sure.
You didn't put everything over the weight limit, I guess. Todd Smith on the line, the Hun School out of Princeton, New Jersey, joining us on the High School Football America podcast. One of the things I noticed, Coach, and again, this is just me going through my 50-year-old brain in the business of coaches and knowing a lot of them. I think you might be very unique because I find, and maybe I'm wrong, but like I said, I've been doing this a long time, a lot of coaches that are in the private level of things right now, whether it's the Hun School or, a Mater Dei out in Southern California, right? A lot of people, if you're a public guy, you stay in the publics and you don't usually jump to the privates. If you're a private guy, you stay in there. You might go out to the publics a little bit, but I noticed you had some real good success at West Windsor, Plainsboro South, winning a state championship or a group title in New Jersey as it was back in that day. And I was just curious, was there a lot of change for you to get used to going from the public school ranks into the private?
Yeah, I mean, I think like going from one to the other is obviously we had some really good players at West Windsor, and we sent kids all over the country and to all levels of football. But it was, there, you have the kids. You just know the kids for so long. At the prep level, you have kids that insert themselves in different years, right? So the trick of it is you have to be honest with families. you have to be able to get people playing time. They're coming here for a reason, right? And at the end of the day, it's a lot of balancing, but the top end talent is going to be off the charts at the prep school level if you're doing it the right way. So there is a lot of game management. There is a lot of roster management. Again, you have to build their film. You have to build their catalog of film. You have to go into it with a different mindset with the season, where it's not about really wins and losses. It's about 10 or 11 opportunities to build this Rolodex of film to help get these kids out there and get them recruited. At the same time, if you're able to build a bond with these kids and a family and a brotherhood, now you're really cooking with gas, and you can really do great things. And that's what's special about this team, right? This team has forged that in a very short period of time, and I think that's because our number one priority is we want to recruit high character kids to come here and play for us at the Hun.
Interesting. Good take there. Thanks, Coach. Todd Smith on the line, the Hun School. And before we go away here, I told you before we rolled the tape that we're going to talk about everything from getting some of the kids in by name to how the school kind of in football fits into the fabric of the school. And I said, we want to talk you, so that's obviously going to get a little promotion, but you can't do it alone. You're the guy, doing the interview after the big win over Mount Carmel and all that. Let's talk about that staff. You said you don't have the biggest number as far as players. What type of staff do you have together, and talk about some of those guys? You can throw their names out there and let them know.
Sure,
let me know how they do for you.
Yeah, we have a great staff that we've assembled here at the Hun School. Number one, our defensive coordinator, his name is Bob Ziegler. He was one of the guys when I was coaching at West Windsor who gave me a lot of trouble. He really X and O'd it. He didn't always definitely have the best talented kids, but he would schematically do great things with his kids. So when I got the job at Hun, he was one of my first phone calls, and he accepted, came over, and he does a great job as our defensive coordinator. And one of our quarterback coach, his name is Tony Rasiopi, he's well known in the quarterback world. He has he trains a lot of NFL quarterbacks, college quarterbacks. He works for Test Academy out of Bridgewater, and he does a lot of draft prep with quarterbacks. And it's pretty cool. Today we had Trace McSorley was our scout team quarterback at practice. He was working out with Tony, and then he came over and ran the defensive team period and absolutely laced us. Just tore our defense up, which was pretty cool. But that was great. And then, we have a lot of new guys. We have a new coach that came back. He played at the Hun School, went to Yale, and now he's back in the area. He coaches our linebackers and our running backs, named Brian Leffler. And then we have our classic crotchety old guy, right? Every staff needs your old Italian guy who yells for no reason, or you can't understand what he says when he yells. That's Joe Ferrari. He coaches our D-line, does a great job with that, of being a great mentor for kids. And then we have a great wide receiver and defensive back coach named Jeff Tarabla. I've known him forever. I coached against him when he was a player. Now he's a fellow educator with me, and just a real great person to have on staff because you can just trust him with your kids. So we don't have the biggest staff, but we do have a very passionate staff that really understands football and can really coach kids.
Quality over quantity, right? That's it's a saying for a reason. That's Coach, I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to us, shedding light on the Hun School around the nation and what you guys were able to accomplish there in Chicago. It sounds like that test is going to continue with the schedule, and it'll be interesting to see how you do against some of these big schools that people know, at least on our side of the ledger, right? With the High School Football America 300, there's 4 in there, and you've already got 1-0 against them. So it's going to be fun to watch what you do this year. But thank you so much for taking the time out of your very busy schedule to talk with us tonight.
All right. No problem. Thanks so much for having me.
All right. For appearing on the High School Football America podcast, Coach Smith is going to get a really cool personalized fan gear pack from First Place Spiritwear, the official outfitter of High School Football America. First Place Spiritwear is reinventing how coaches, athletic directors, school administrators, booster clubs, and fans in general get their fan gear, their Spiritwear. They've got an up-and-running store for every high school football program in America if you go to firstplacespiritwear.com. And if you connect with them and say, hey, I want to see what you're all about, they will start putting your logo onto these really cool designs they have, and it will come to life. It will sing, and you'll go, hey, Fisher was right. They are reinventing and revolutionizing the fan gear spirit wear space. No doubt about it. It's all online. You're going to get rid of things such as the ordering windows, BSN's fan cloth. You know how that works. Couple of weeks, here you go, order, and then you wait around until your stuff goes out, and it's just not a lot of fun. They take all of the hassle out of this deal. I mean, it's as easy as that. You can go back to coaching. So what they're going to do is they're going to take away those ordering windows. You're not going to have to collect money anymore. You're not going to have to manage inventory. They're going to ship the orders directly to the people that order them. And the stores are open 24/7, 365, and they'll give you all the marketing material from graphics to really cool scripts that you can put in there. You put it in your email list, bing, bang, boom, hit the send button, and all that starts happening is they start ordering the stuff, and you're going to earn 10% on all of the sales that you make through First Place Spiritwear. These folks are really, really big supporters of high school football. They're not in this, everybody's in it for the money, right? High School Football America's in it for the money, but they're about promoting the sport and making the sport better when it comes to fan gear. It's as simple as that. All the players, coaches, and staff get $10 gift codes. They carry the brand names like Nike, Adidas, and Champion. You will not be disappointed. As a matter of fact, if you want me to connect you with Mike Meadows, the president and CEO, I mean, you can talk to Connie, but Mike's the guy you really want to talk to get this part of it rolling. I can do that. Just email me, DM me, however you want to get to me, and I'll make sure, like I have to so many coaches so far, I'll put you in a one-on-one with the CEO. You're not going to be dealing with some salesperson when it comes to First Place Spiritwear at the start. You're going to deal with the guy right at the top, which is a pretty cool thing. And the High School Football America podcast brought to you by GameStrat, America's premier sideline instant replay system with outstanding reliability and faster speed than Huddle's sideline. Video transfers instantly in GameStrat, and its connection stays strong throughout with great features like seamless video controls, video telestration, and play filtering. The setup, so easy, only 10 minutes, and they have awesome customer service just like First Place Spiritwear. That's why High School Football America partners with who we partner with. We don't inundate you with tons of sponsors, and that's because we just find the best, and then we give you the best, and then we give you free content all day, every day. It's as simple as that. And GameStrat is great at customer service. I've heard it from so many coaches that have made the switch. Hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds have made the switch to GameStrat over the last 4 or 5 years. Mention High School Football America to get a friends and family discount on any one of their plans, priced right for every coach's budget. And to get that demo, you can go to GameStrat.com or click on the GameStrat banner ad located on every page of HighSchoolFootballAmerica.com. And don't forget to check out NFL Play Football at playfootball.nfl.com. Coaches, you can get some great resources that will help you improve in the coaching profession. Don't forget on Sunday, speaking of NFL Play Football, the new High School Football America 300 will come out, and we may have a new number one at the top as it's 1 versus 2 in Southern California on Friday night. Number 1, modern day, 4-time High School Football America champs, national champs, taking on number 2, Bishop Gorman from Nevada. They last won the national championship in 2016, so 5 natties between Gorman and Modern Day. Should be a great game. Again, early Sunday evening, we will put out the new High School Football America 300 powered by NFL Play Football. And all weekend long, starting tonight, tomorrow, whatever day that games are being played, High School Football America is always free to you. No hassles, no signups, no paywalls. We have real-time scoreboards for every state, so you can keep up with your favorite team's score just by going to highschoolfootballamerica.com and clicking on scores, and it'll give you the opportunity. You can go to Alabama. You can go to Maryland. You can go to Wyoming. You can go to California. They're all there for you, and it's all free. High School Football America, free content all day, every day. And that's going to do it for the High School Football America podcast today. I'm Jeff Fisher. Enjoy the games this weekend.